To this severe weather briefing. This is Jacques Williams, meteorologist. We're going to go ahead and look over some forecast information here. First of all, we're going to be talking about the severe weather potential for Wednesday evening into Thursday afternoon, starting in parts of Oklahoma. Right now, we're going to go ahead and check out the NAM forecast model, and that's going to be for the 500 millbar wind speed. And what we're looking at here is a over the night, through the night, and through the day, through the night on Wednesday night and into Thursday, the ejection, the trough is going to become amplified with a negative tilt, a slight negative tilt. And my conditional target area right now is down here near Searcy and Dumas, Arkansas, as well as possibly even as far south as Greenville, Mississippi right now. Right now, I'm really liking what I'm seeing. We're going to go ahead and look at the temperatures for during the day on Wednesday. And we're approaching over here in the Camp Rock area, Texas Panhandle, we're approaching, between 72 and, well, 70 to 75 degrees in some areas. In parts of Oklahoma, we're in the 60s, low 60s to near 70. And then as we go and progress throughout Thursday morning, temperatures at this advancing cold front with a dry line right here across central Oklahoma will be coming through the region and cooling us down quite significantly. We're going to go ahead and look at the dew point profiles. Now I'm still seeing back before I was seeing a slight bulge in the dry line. And what I'm seeing right here is what I like to call frontal convergence, where you have ejection going northward with moisture from the Gulf, these higher dew points, and you have it what's called frontal pooling. Some call it frontal convergence. This frontal pooling is where you have the front that's sagging down to the southeast, and you have moisture being evected up towards the north in this nose of energy, and it's pooling on that front. And as we go through Thursday morning, very early Thursday morning, you can see that there is a slight right here. This is where I would be most concerned with in this general area right here for any type of supercell development. And then as we progress through the early morning on Thursday, we see a bulge right here, a slight, not a very defined bulge where what we like to see is dew points in the 60s and 70s on one side with 30s and 20s on the other. And I'm not seeing that. But nonetheless, it's still definitely worth my time going down there. And so we're going to go ahead and look at the convective based models here. We're going to look at the surface-based CAPE. Now, this is the newest NAM, and like I said, when you have that nose of energy being ejected up towards the north, so far the CAPE values for parts of Oklahoma, I'm looking at between 650 to 700 in this area, general area, and allowing for a area of concern, which would be from Jonesboro, Arkansas, down to Greenville, Mississippi, where we have CAPE values, surface-based CAPE values between 700 and 820 in that general area for a short period of time. With the trough amplification, that will allow that to occur. So we're going to go ahead and look at the supercell composite real quick. And with the nose of energy and Gulf moisture being ejected towards the north in this area, 09Z Thursday, we're looking at a supercell composite index between a 1 and a 3. And we'll go ahead and pull a hodograph up here. This is a depiction of what the atmosphere could potentially be looking like at that time. And it's overall it's not that impressive where we have mixed layer 778, effective 725, surface cape 880, effective inflow layer is 385. We have the LFC and the LCL. We have some backing between 700, starting at 700 millibars, going up to all the way to 1,000 millibars. We have some backing, but it's not very potent. What I do see though is we have some decent surface-based winds at the surface with some shear and some little bit of slight backing at the 200 to 300 millibar range with not a lot of capping inversion, it does look like. So right now I'm not concerned with any type of capping. There might be a little bit of capping, but we can get some sunshine out that day, and I believe we will. For parts of Oklahoma, that won't be a problem. Now let's go ahead and continue on. Now the NAM forecast model does have the low tracking a little bit towards the north. Things could still change with that low track, but that being the case, it's also slowing it down. So that means it's going to be a daytime, early morning to daytime event for parts of Arkansas, Texarkana, and Mississippi. And then as we go on through the day, on Thursday into Thursday evening, it goes into Alabama there. So we're going to go ahead and pull sounding out for Greenville, Mississippi, which is right there. And yeah, there is some capping right here. We do have some capping. That's a little messy. I'm not exactly sure if I agree with this right now, just because of what it looks like. I think location parameters are slightly off. But nonetheless, let's go ahead and look up here near Dumas, Arkansas, and pull sounding up, and we'll check that from Greenville. So general consensus is that consistency's there. Doesn't look too bad right now. I'd like to see those numbers up just a little bit for my personal reasons. But between Dumas down to Camden and Greenville, Mississippi has the highest chance of seeing that type of activity, the strongest activity with this potential linear line, a thunderstorm line complex coming through with on that front. So we're going to go ahead and look at this other model. It's called the shield model. And we're going to go ahead and look at this real quick. Pull up composite radar reflectivity and surface winds. All right, we're going to go ahead and pause it. We're going to go ahead and skip forward. So at about 06Z Thursday morning, this is that linear complex out over here in parts of northern Texas and southern parts of Oklahoma and parts of central Oklahoma. And then as we progress through the morning hours on Thursday, we start to see a bowing effect with it coming into parts of Arkansas there. And then as we progress through the day and still somewhat later morning hours there, we see some pretty good, nice bowing structure here in this general area. And that's what I'm going to target for my data collection efforts, scientific data collection efforts, as well as tornado potential, I would say right now is low. It's not zero. You could have some quick spin ups with this line as it comes through. And then as we progress throughout the day on Thursday, starts to enter Tennessee. And this is one particular forecast model. Every particular forecast model is going to be different. But model consistency is not exactly there yet. We have an indifference of between 5 and 15% still among models. So we'll have just keep that in mind. So we're going to go ahead and look at the supercell index here, and we're going to be getting between 3 and a 4. Let's pull a photograph up here for Camden, Arkansas, somewhere near Camden, Arkansas. And there is some slight capping there as well. Not exactly the most significant photograph that I've seen. Some parameters there, not the greatest, but definitely something to keep an eye on in the next couple of in the next day and whatnot, especially when the HRRR comes out and the RAP. Then we can go ahead and compare those models and see the consistency and check those out as well. But right now, it's looking like this vigorous storm system uh, will have an impact and does bear watching and see what this how significant it becomes and whatnot. But right now, it's not looking too organized. It's got some noteworthy features, but right now it's not looking too organized. Not to say we won't see a couple of tornadoes possibly on Thursday, especially close to Greenville, Mississippi, and parts of south central Arkansas. And Wednesday night into Thursday early morning, it's not to say we couldn't see some quick spin ups there in parts of Oklahoma as well. So keep that in mind. So please share. And this is Jack Williams. I'll have another live weather briefing tomorrow night at 10 o'clock.